All right. Good afternoon once more. I hope everyone is doing well and okay. It's a busy Friday, a month end Friday, and we are here. But it's okay. It's okay. Let's continue. Today we are going to look at text files or CSV files and how to also load them into our application. And then we are also going to introduce a new component called the rich edit. And at the same time, we are also going to look at an object of type T string list. Before I continue, is my audio okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you, ma'am. All right. So without wasting any further time, let's get into those things. So on your tool palette, we are going to go and search for a rich edit. So to some of you, this might sound familiar, but all in all, a rich edit is just the brother of a T edit. Okay, nothing useful for us there. Okay, paragraph omitting. Okay, I will just explain in my plain English. So a rich edit is a brother of a T edit, if that makes any sense. But you will remember with a T edit, can you have multiple lines inside this T edit?
No, sir.
It's not possible to have more than one line inside our T edit. Therefore, that's where the rich edit comes in. A rich edit will allow us to have multiple lines inside this control. Now, those lines can be, or that information can be in the form of lines, or it can be in the form of a paragraph. So it means we are able to probably put probably an essay, if I should put like that, an essay or a speech by someone else, which is in the form of a paragraph. We are able to do that and put the whole information inside this box. So let us quickly just go to the properties and examine the properties that it has. So first and foremost, this rich edit is also a kind of like a list where we can store a list of lines. But how it differs from other controls such as list box and combo box is that this one uses lines instead of items. It uses lines instead of items. So if we go there to the T strings, we can see currently it says one line because of this red output, which is the name I've given it, and this comes by default. So every time, whether we are writing a paragraph or whatever, every time we go to a new line, it counts the line as a separate from the above line. So that's only how it differs from a list box. This works with lines and a list box or a combo box or a radio group, which will do somewhere around a week, next week or a week after. Those three work with items, but this one works with lines. Great. So let's just go over. There is a plain text property there. For those who want to know what it does, quickly just press F1 next to it. and they will tell you that this property controls whether the rich edit treats the text as plain text or rich text when streaming to or from a file. So to write a rich text into the control to a plain text file, set this property to true. If we want to write the text in the control to a plain text file. But you will probably not even come across this situation, because when they say plain text, basically they are referring to an encoding style. I'm not sure if you are aware of encoding styles. For example, when I say encoding style, I mean the double codes from Notepad is not the same double code as the one you will see in Microsoft Word. So even though they are all double codes, but they use different encoding styles. All right, so without wasting any more time, the other important property that you would want to know is something about scroll bars. So if you can see this currently, it does not have scroll bar. So it means if we have lines that exceed this control, we will not be able to see those lines. So for us to see them, we have to ensure that this control has scroll bars. So instead of hiding our scroll bars, we now say we want our scroll bars to be visible. And then after doing that, we have a scroll bars property, which currently is set to none. So we can set our scroll bars to appear either horizontally or vertically or both. So for this one, let's just say vertical. So you will see now on the right hand side, there are arrows there that allow us to scroll either up or down. Right? And then the next object that I need us to look into is a T-string list. So for now, let's just add a button there. This button, I will call it button load, and then I will say load information. Yes, that will be the name of my button. Sorry, can I just mute so that I can cough? There's something on my throat.
Sir, is it possible for you to zoom in your screen? I can't even see a single word.
Noted, ma'am. Sorry for that.
Please.
Fine now.
Yes, thank you.
All right. So I have a button there. I have a rich edit there at the bottom. Ultimately, what we want to do is to when we press this button, we go somewhere and take a text file stored somewhere on our machine, and we read the contents of that text file, and we display those contents in here. So to do that, obviously we need number one, a rich edit for us to display the output. Number two, we need something we call, not something, but an object we call a T string list. A T string list. So quickly, let us see what a T string list is. So a T string list maintains a list of strings. Does this definition look familiar? Does this definition look familiar? Does this definition look familiar? Anyone? You've never seen that definition before? Okay. Let us see the definition of a list box. Let us see the definition of a list box. A list box displays A collection of items in a scrollable list. Users are able to add, select, or delete. Okay? And then that one of a T-string list says a T-string list maintains a list of strings. Do you think the two are related? A T-string list and a list box. Do you think they are related somehow? Okay, no answer. It means we are new to this, so I should explain. Okay, a T-string list and a
Sir,
list box. Hello.
can I try to answer? I'm not sure if it's correct though.
Yes, ma'am. Please.
I think they're relatable, but whereas a T string list shows maybe a list in one line, but then a T list, like the first one, the other one, it shows only a list in one line, but then this one it shows multiple lines.
Okay. We are able to also have multiple lines inside a list box. Ne? Line 1, line 2, line 3. Even a list box, we are able to have multiple lines. But all in all, and thank you for that, ma'am. All in all, a T-string list can do whatever that a list box can do. I'm not saying they are the same. Please hear me out. But what a list box can do, a T-string list can also do. But then how are they different? Okay, a list box, as you can see, it is a visual component, meaning we are able to see this list visually. We are able to see this list visually. Whereas a T-string list only operates in the memory, meaning the lines or a list that it will maintain will be where? In the memory. Therefore, we cannot see those lines unless we want to use them somewhere else. Maybe we say retrieve a line from this list. Somewhere there are lines of information in the memory. We cannot see them, but we just know from our minds that this thing should hold information, but that information is placed where? In the memory. And if something is in the memory, we cannot see it. But whereas this guy, whatever line that it will hold, we are able to see it visually. Ne? That is the only difference between these two. But the rest, what this thing can do, even this guy can do, not better, but yes, even this guy can do. I almost said better. So if now this guy operates in the memory, it means this is actually a pointer object. This is a pointer object which we are going to declare ourselves because it's not a visual component. By saying that, I mean if we go to the header file, there is nowhere this T-string list will be declared for us automatically via the form. We either have to declare it ourselves, probably in here, or somewhere else where you want to use it. Is that clear?
No, sir. Can you please repeat that?
Okay, because this is a pointer object, it means we have to declare it ourselves. Isn't it that it is not a visual component? It is not a visual component. Therefore, it means the IDE will not declare this for us automatically. The same way these other guys are being declared. The same way these other guys are being declared. These are declared automatically because they are visual components. We are able to see them. But this one, because it operates in the memory, we are not able to see it. Therefore, we have to declare it ourselves all the time if we want to use it. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly write a comment there to say not a visual component. I think there's something on this true or false question on this somewhere in web test 2. All right. Now, if we are going to declare this ourselves, we should know that whenever we want to use an object which is a pointer, it must be instantiated. So this line alone is just declaration. It's just declaration. Now it means after declaring, we have to instantiate this object because this is a pointer. And whenever we declare a pointer, it must be instantiated using the new keyword. So what that means is we are going to say list rw is equals to new t string list. Just like that. Do not include any parentheses. Ne? Do not, because this list does not belong to any component, or it does not belong to the form, if I should put it like that. It is a standalone. Therefore, when we instantiate it, we'll always say list raw, new t string list, and then end of story. Any questions on that? Okay, all is well, I hope. So now, you remember I said whatever that this guy can do, even a t-string list can do. So I'm just going to quickly erase these lines because I want to show you something that you were not aware of. List box items, remove all these lines. Okay, I want to show you something you probably were not aware of. So let's look at our list box. One, items. Okay, I have to save this so that you can see the pop-ups. Reach edit and the files, maybe something like that. Okay, you need to just save. Okay, great. So I want you guys to see something. Okay, items. Let's see. Let's start with add. So you see there's a method called add on the list box. So let's go to a t-string list and check. List rw and then add. Do you see how these two behave? This one has to go to items first, but this one is already on the point of items. So all we have to do is go an extra step after items. Again, let's look at a list box. Items. And then let's look at maybe delete. There is a delete there. Let's go and check if a list row also has the delete. So list row, it is already in the items part. So we just go to the next step, which is delete. There. Can you all see that?
Yes, sir.
All right. So now let me give you an epiphany that you were not aware of. So let's say list box, we want to start loading a file. Ne? So let's say list box, items, and then there is a method that is part of the list box class that will help us to read a particular file. So if we say load from file. That means this method is going to attempt to open a file which we will provide inside this parenthesis. So as you can see, it says I am expecting a file name. So let us go ahead and give it a file name. But before I do that, let me get any file I can get. Okay, this vaccination file. Let me get any file there. And then let me go and paste it.
Sir,
Hello.
when we read file from our machine, does it have to be in the same location as our in the same location as our project?
That's the part I'm getting to say.
Okay,
That's the part I am getting to.
and the other
Pardon?
thing, are we not using the method we used or the code we used in 111, like including f stream and then if stream and
No,
then
no, no.
checking whether the file is open or not?
No. We will not go that route anymore, sir.
Okay, so this is the load from file is the method that we're gonna use all along to open our file if you want to read from it.
Yes. Yes. Yes, sir.
Great.
Good. So now let's go and say the name of our file is vaccinationdata.txt. Let's go ahead and try to do this. Let's go ahead and try to do this. So I am going to debug, compile, compile. Okay, so let's say load info, and then we get an exception that says the system cannot find the file specified. Now, I want you guys to look carefully at this error here. It says cannot open file, see users, Langa RM documents, Embarcadero Studio project, Rich Edit. That is where our project files are. And then now it says it could not find the file where inside Win32 debug. It says it could not find the file there. It means now if we want to use this style, it means our file has to be where? It has to be inside the Win32 and debug folder. So let's go back to our folders and see where those folders are. So this is our project files. This is our project folder. And then there's a Win32 folder there. And then when you get inside Win32, there's a debug folder. And then inside this debug folder, this is where our application runs. So when we say go and open this file called vaccination.data, plain like this, when we pass it like that, this is where it comes to check if the file exists. This is where it comes. And it came to this folder and it realized, no man, I do not have that vaccination data.txt file. Therefore, it threw an exception. So now it means if we want our file to be successfully read, we have to move it into the Win32 debug folder. So now let's go and try one more time and see if it will be able to find the file. So I'm going to compile again, and then I'm going to press load info, and then voila, it was able to find the file inside the Win32 folder. Are we still together?
Yes.
Great. But now let me destroy your hopes a little bit. When we give you the project file, maybe in your test, we will not put the vaccination data inside this folder here. Rather, what we are going to do is we are going to create a new folder right here, and we will usually call it app data or application data. And then inside this folder, this is where we will give you all the necessary files that you are supposed to work with in your application. Now, with that being said, I think you will remember in 111, if you did not want to use the name of the file, you then had to supply the full path of where that file is located. Do you all remember that?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So you'll remember some of you went to this style of saying right click on the file, properties, and then you go to the security tab, and then you copy the entire object name, and then you go there and you paste it. You'll remember some of us used to do that, ne?
Yes.
So now here's a new information that we are bringing to you. So I'm not sure if you heard me, but which folder does our application run from?
From debug.
From the debug folder, which is inside the Win32. So this is where, can you please mute? This is where currently our application executes. So it means if we want to go to that vaccination data file, we have to do what? We have to say, go back one folder up, go back the second folder up, get inside app data, and then you will find vaccination data.txt file. I am going to repeat that. Currently, the application executes in this folder, the Win32 debug folder. And then when we want to locate our vaccination data.txt file, we have to do what? Get out of this debug folder by going one step up, get out of the Win32 folder by going another step up, and then from there we go inside the app data folder, and then in here that is where we are going to find our vaccination data.txt text file. So I'm not sure if you are aware, but let's open CMD quickly and then let us demonstrate something. So currently my CMD is executing at Langa RM. So if I say change directory, go back one folder, it will get out of the Langa folder. Can you see that? Change directory, and then these two full stops or these two periods mean go a folder up. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
If I further then says change directory and go one folder up, what will happen? It will get out of the users folder. I am now where? In the C drive. So what I'm trying to show you from this command prompt is actually these two full stops in terms of what they mean. So these two full stops will always mean go a folder up or out. Therefore, when we write our path to that file, we will always say go a folder up, and then we use double slashes. I hope by now everyone knows why we have to use double slashes, ne? Okay. For those who do not know, a slash is a special character in C++. So when we say slash something, for example, slash, I'm not even sure if it's this. Okay, backslash. When we say backslash n, we are saying go to the new line. When we say backslash t, we mean make a tab. So if we write a single slash there, it's not going to recognize the backslash full stop because there's no such thing in C++. So it means we have to always use the double slashes to represent a slash. Ne?
Sir,
Mm-hmm.
can I challenge you a bit on the slashes?
Yes, sir.
You know Linux, right?
Mm-hmm.
It uses the front slash, so meaning that in TPG101 you are able to read the file path using the front slashes. Sir.
I have not used the front slashes, but yes,
But
even
it
in
have,
triple one, yes,
if
yes, yes.
it has to be a single slash. So in Embacadero, if we do that, would it work?
Let us try it out, sir. Because you will remember in triple one, a backslash or a forward slash in terms of opening a file, there was no difference. It will actually open the file. Ne? So
Yes.
let's attempt the backslash part. So let's say go one folder up, meaning get outside of the debug folder, and then we are now where inside the Win32. We are now saying go outside of the Win32 folder, and then we are now where on the main project file, and then from here we are now saying get inside app data, and you must write it exactly the same as how you have written it in your folders. And then inside app data, there's a file called vaccination.txt. So let us check if the
Sir,
backslashes also,
sorry
yes,
to
ma'am.
disturb you. We
Mhm.
have load shedding in Social Groove.
Right now.
Like now.
Oh, okay. Uh, okay. What were you suggesting, ma'am?
I don't know because like my network already is starting to give me problems. So I don't know. You'll just continue. We'll just catch up with the session, I guess. We'll
Uh,
download the. I don't know if you want to stop or you want to continue.
let me just continue and then I will upload the video. Ne? I'm sorry for that. I'm sorry for that. Okay, so as we now want to test if the backslash will work in TPG 201, the same way they used to work in triple one. And then there we have it. It says update vaccination. I think I got the file name incorrect. It should be vaccination data. Let us try that one more time. It's going to work. Yes, but now it's good that you know, ne?
No,
Because
sir.
remember,
The one now use it on a single. I already know the answer. I just figured it out
it
that
won't.
even if
Okay,
let's
okay.
change it. No,
On a
just
single,
remove
it
them
will
both.
not
Eh.
work.
Remove
On a
them both
single,
and use the forward ones.
okay.
Let's use the forward ones.
The single
Yes.
forward will work.
Oh,
The
okay.
single
So the
forward will work because there's no. This is not a special character. The forward one is not a special
there's a
character.
correct
Yeah. So this has to work.
work. Oh, it is working.
Yes, you see. The forward slash you can have it as one, but even if you make them double,
Double.
I don't think it will give you any problems. Yes, you see.
So meaning that if it's single, that's why it's not going to work.
Sir,
Yes,
so always see when we will have to read from file, we're gonna use this method we are using.
always say, because we are going to give you files inside a particular folder, ne? So you have to know that you have to go one step up with two full steps, another folder up, two full stops, and then you get inside the folder that you want, and then you reference the file that you're looking for.
Okay, sir.
And just to clarify this slash issues, if you want to use forward slashes, stick to one slash. But if you are to use a backslash, then use double backslashes.
So if I go to my file destination and then copy the whole file destination and then paste it there,
The same way
Yeah,
we used to do
like
in
like
triple
this.
one, ne?
Yeah.
And then paste it there. Obviously, you have to add the extra slash, ne?
Yes, sir.
So extra slash, extra slash, extra slash. Before I add, let me just show you an error here. I can't get it, but it's going to say there is no backslash a or backslash whatever. So let's just see. Okay, so it's all fine. Let us test that. It should work. This it should also work. Yeah, no problems there.
Okay.
Remember, guys, this is still C++, ne? This is still C++. But I like this one. It's shorter, straightforward. Anyway, that was how we can read a file into our list box. Now, as we are also proving that what a list box can do, a t-string list can also do. Now, let's copy or let's also load a file using a t-string list. So we'll just say t-string list, load from file. I'm going to just copy that for the sake of time. Paste it there and then comment this, and then when I run this, obviously we will not be able to see. You see, I can press, but we are not going to see any changes on the form because this thing operates where? In the memory. It means when this line is executed, the lines are actually loaded in the memory. So to prove that there's something in the memory, let's say show message and then list raw, and then let's say we want to print the first line. So I'm going to use the string property to display the first line inside my t-string list. So let us just see if indeed there is something in the memory. So can you see? Even with a t-string list, we were able to load a file. So do not be surprised. Sometimes they can say load a file into a list box, né? And then from there we can do some manipulation and then display inside this rich edit. But sometimes they won't give you a list box. They'll rather give you a t-string list. In either way, you should be able to load a file. Is that clear, my good people?
Yes, yes. So, what's the use of using a T-string?
A t-string list?
Yes.
Because, okay, good questions. The reason why we need a t-string list is if you can check the data in our file is actually a mess.
Yes.
Do you see this data?
Yes.
It is actually a mess. So our t-string list will temporarily hold this messy data, which is why sometimes we always refer to it as a list raw data. The data is still raw. It's still raw, meaning we have to still work around it. Ne? So the purpose of it is to temporarily hold information for us as we are busy trying to clean it up and display it in the rich edit.
Yes, I'm confused now. Because I came late. What's the rich edit? Is a rich edit?
Okay, a rich edit is this guy, which is just a T edit, but this one can support multiple lines. Ne?
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's called.
I thought this is the T-string row. Okay. Okay.
Oh no! A T string list, you cannot see it. Again,
Yes.
as I've said, it is not a visual component. You cannot see it. It operates in the memory.
Oh.
So
So,
ultimate, yes.
according to your explanation, which means when we are using a T-string row, we're gonna organize our data there. Then after that, we move it to the
Rich edit.
rich edit box.
Yes, that's the sequence basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
I say.
Mm-hmm.
So with that explanation that you just said, it means that if we sort our data in the list raw data, it's permanently stored. Whatever we do with it, it is already changed.
Yes, whatever we do to the data inside the list raw data, it also affects the original data in there.
Okay,
For example, if we
makes
delete
sense.
a line from list raw, a line is actually deleted from the memory. So if in future we want to display all the lines, that line will no longer be present.
Okay, it makes sense. Now I
All
understand.
right. Okay, great. And then from here, what we now want to do is we want to take the information from a list box and display it inside our rich edit. But now we want to say when our information is displayed, it's actually displayed in a readable manner because this right here, this is not readable. This is not readable. Ne? So it means now we are going to perform what? Our string manipulation techniques. Because now if you can check, there is a delimiter on each row. For example, we have this there as a delimiter. So it means every time we are going to get one line from our T-string list, break it down in such a way that we can have this nice output maybe like this, with tabs, for example. You see that? So we want to be doing this on each and every line. We want our information to be in this nice format. Can you see? Date vaccinated and whatever. Okay. Seems like this file is somehow a mess. But yes, ultimately that's what we want to do. Oh, the date is there. Okay, it's fine. But yes, ultimately that's what we want to do. So without wasting any further time, let us start with that process of breaking down our line. So as I've mentioned earlier, we are going to be extracting line by line from our list row data. So we're going to go to our list row data, fetch one line, work with it, work with it, work with it, and then display it in the rich edit. Fetch the second line, work with it, and then throw it in the rich edit. So let's go and introduce a variable called current line. And then I will say it must get a line from where? From my T-string list on the strings property, which is an array which receives an index. I will say, give me the first line. Next, and then with that first line, I'm going to probably include some headings there. I will say heading is equals to, and then from my current line, I want to be probably removing the tilde and so off. So let me just say column 1 is equals to line dot substring. I hope everyone knows this step, so I'm just going to make them quickly, and then I'll say find it on the position of tilde minus 1. I'm just going to quickly make everything on one line. I hope, actually, let me not create a mess since this is new. So let's just do that, and then plus minus 1, and then we delete current line dot delete from 1 pause, and then our column 1 will be successfully achieved. Then I can just copy this, paste, and then make column 2 there, and then copy paste, make column 3. How many columns do we have? I have lost count. Column 4, I think there should be 5. Then this should be the last one, so I don't need that. I also don't need that. So I'll say column 5 is equals to current line. And then now I have to send this information to my rich edit, but in a nice format. Ne? So I'm going to say one rich edit line is equals to column 1 plus, and then make a tab there, column 2, make a tab there, plus, column 3, plus, make a tab, column 4, plus, make a tab, and then column 5 there at the end. And then now let's just send this line to our rich edit. So as you have seen, our rich edit works with lines. Ne? So you'll always say rich edit and then the lines property, and then from here you want to add a line. So we are going to say add, and then we add our one red line like that. So if we can quickly just debug this, load info, and then you can see our columns are loaded in a nice way. So there's a name and surname, and then we put a tab there, and then there's ID number, we put a tab there, and then there's type of vaccine, a tab, province tab, and then that part. So the reason why we still have this is because we have to make sure that we clear before we add something to our rich edit. Always remember to clear all the lines. So we'll say lines clear. Run this again, and then load info, and then our headings are added. So it means now we have to repeat again all of this. We have to repeat all of this again to get line number 1, work with it, line number 2, work with it, and so on and so on. So I'm just going to create a for loop there, equals to 0. And then if you still remember, can we loop with the number of items that are inside a list box? If we can, what is the name of that property?
We use count property.
It's count, sir.
The count. So same as list raw data, it has the count property. Count. And then we put all this information inside our for loop. So now let us see if we are able to get a nice output. So now, because we are hard-coded the 0 there for the first time, we actually have to replace it with the I, so that when it goes to loop number 1, it can look for the second row. Another iteration, the next row, and so forth and so forth. So now let us run this. The information is still going to be a little bit messy, but hey, at least something has happened. All the fields are gone. It is still a bit messy. So to solve that, which is not part of your syllabus, but anyway, I'm going to include it somewhere here. Not part of your syllabus, but anyway, let's have it here. Read output, paragraph, because this thing can also hold paragraph, ne? And then we now say tab count. So we have how many fields or how many columns? I think it's 5. And then we now say the first column, paragraph. Please do not cram this, you won't need it anyway, ne? And then we say tab 1, let it be equals to probably maybe 95. And then this is just for our rich edit to display data nicely, ne? 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 120. This one I'll say 180, maybe 220. 250. You will not need this in your minds. Please, you will not need this in your mind. I won't ask you to create these settings. And then, yeah, all right, now let's see if there are any changes. No changes. Okay, let's have this one here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see. So now can you see something is happening? So we have to move tab index number 1 to 3. Maybe make it 200. This one make it 240. Maybe this one make it 280. So let's try that quickly. Still needs to be moved 1, 2, 3. Okay, move 3 to 250. This one to 280. This one to 320. Please don't give me a problem. Okay, so I am shifting the incorrect one. So this was fine as 160. And then let's see. Okay, province is sorted, and then now the date. Okay, now the date. Let's see. Province is gone again. Hello.
I say. No, I was trying to help. I was trying to help you because I'm looking at the tutorial, so it has the numbers.
Oh yeah. Okay. Can you just give them to me?
Yes, the first one is 110.
Okay.
The second one is 210. And the third one is 300.
Okay.
The fourth one is 400, and the last one is 460.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you for that. I was actually lazy to go and open up and copy, but yeah, at least now it's better, né? So can you see our information is now readable? Our information is now readable. Any questions on that, guys? On loading a file using a T-string list and differentiating between a list box and a T-string list. Any questions? So we are all fine.
Sir, actually, I just want to get the clarity on this thing of reading from a file. Whenever we have to read from a file, we have to read our file into a list raw data.
You want to cram when I'm a pop. You want to cram.
No, sir, I don't want to cram actually. I just want the clarity in because I don't. It's for the first time seeing this thing, so I just want to know if it's a logic to from file to a list raw data, then or in any logic you can any logic you can use.
Okay. It will depend on the question mostly. If they give you list raw data, then you're supposed to use it. But if they now say read using a list box or read a file to a list box, then you know you have to use the list box provided. Hey guys, even a combo box, even a combo box, just that I don't have it on the design. But even with a combo box, we are able to load a file. So that's my combo box there. I will say combo box 1. And then this will go to items first. And then we can have the method load from file. So do you see it's not always going to be a T-string list. It's not always going to be a list box. It's not always going to be a box.
Okay, so I got it.
You will see in the I'm going to post practice for just to get you guys prepared for the formative. Ne? You'll see in some question I said use a list box to read. In another question I said use a combo box to read. Ne? You'll see in that practice.
All right, sir.
All right. Any other question?
There,
Yes.
on the for loop, ne, sometimes
Mhm.
they use replace the limiter function.
Yeah.
So
Okay,
sir,
Madube, yes. No, I was just
yes,
saying yeah,
uh, the
you
replace
are
the
ahead.
limiter function, will it be
Mm-hmm.
given to us, or like we must code it from scratch?
Oh, okay, the idea now is for you to know how that delimiter is actually replaced. So, no, it's not. It will not be necessary in the question that I will give you. It will not be necessary. So you'll have to do this step yourself.
Uh,
Yeah, but I'm happy that you
okay,
are
thank you,
there.
sir.
Yeah, I'm happy that you are there. And then also, but what I'm going to give you is the get filled by number. I'm going to give you that method because now if you are writing all these steps, who's going to mark one now? Who's going to keep marking all of this? So I'm going to give you the get filled by number function, and then to get column one, you just say get filled by number. From current line, get me fill number one, and the delimiter is whatever. Is there anyone who does not know how that one works?
Yes.
Uh, okay. In our next catch up, we will rewrite all of this code, ne, using the get filled by number function in our next catch up. Uh, I just want to hear from you. Monday is a holiday, ne? Yeah. Uh, will you be available to attend? Hey, Mara Monday, guys. I know it's fine. We will see on Tuesday. No, we will have catch up 7 on Tuesday, where we will be rewriting all of this using the get full by number function. For those who have already seen it, I'm going to give you this project and then just try to replace this code using the get full by number. All right. Yes, that is all from my side. I don't know if there are any other questions that they need to be attended. Any questions left? Going once, twice, twice point one, twice point two. Okay, sold. All right, guys. Thank you guys for attending. Have a good weekend. Yeah, have a good weekend. Don't do anything that I wouldn't do. Ne? Practice. All right.
Lokile,
Bye.
lokile, lokile.
Yeah.
Lokile, sir.